Happy Wednesday. Welcome to the Citizen Council live stream. This is Chris Castleman here with Brandi Martindale and Perry
Hey,
Holman.
everybody.
How's it going?
Pretty
Oh,
good. How you guys doing?
Pretty good. Pretty good. It's a good day. I'm gonna find out how to turn the music off. There we go. How's it going? I can hear you guys now.
All right.
Perry and I are actually in the same room, so hopefully there's not an echo. We are actually at the headquarters for the Friends of the Coos County Republican Party. We're here collecting signatures for the gas tax petition. So if anybody still hasn't signed it, you can head on down to the address at the bottom. It's the plaza with McDonald's and Scoops and Vinny's out there in North Bend. So throwing that out there, we'll be here till Friday, 2 to 6. Somebody told me they actually are really close to getting all the signatures. So very cool.
There's been such a huge push for this. I mean, everybody's behind it. So it really has had a lot of momentum.
It's crazy the amount of people we've had in here. I mean, we've collected, I think, close to 1,000 signatures.
Oh,
Because
that's
yesterday
so
we were
cool.
over 500, and they've been getting a couple hundred every day. So very cool.
That's cool. Yeah. And well,
Hi,
now that you
Cheryl.
guys have the headquarters, hello, Cheryl. Now that you guys have the headquarters and people have a location that they know they can go to, that makes it way easier.
Yeah, and it's spread well on social media between everybody sharing it, and then word of mouth. Got people coming here
Yeah.
like, "Oh, my coworker came and told us all to come here after work." So, and we're handing out flyers for our events. So, hopefully, people, word will spread for that too. If people are interested, tonight we're having an event here. Um, Pizza, drinks. I'm going to do a little presentation, and we do it every Wednesday, 7 to 9 p.m. And then every Saturday, that one, every Saturday we do coffee from 8 to 11 here as well. So very casual, informal, just kind of networking, meeting people. If you've never met a conservative, you can come and meet one in person, a real live conservative.
I love how warm and inviting you guys are because, I think over this past year, the conservative element in Coos County, there has been a real legitimate attempt to like demonize quite a few people that are associated with this conservative movement. And it's really lovely to see how warm and inviting you guys are because like that was not the experience with the traditional Republican Party, right? I mean, people reach out to ask how they can help and they get straight up
Yeah.
turned away. And so seeing you guys just and watching this kind of, I don't know, loose knit organization or this kind of collective of people all coming together is just amazing. I love it.
Yeah, it's
It's
worked out
giving
well.
holiday spirit. Like I'm really liking it.
Well, I was on the phone with someone today and they were like, should we cancel the meeting for next Wednesday? Like just the meetup? And I go, no, why not? Like, yeah, sure. A lot of people might be out of town, but there's people who won't be. Like, I don't have plans for Thanksgiving. Like, I mean, I'll probably eat a turkey, but like the days around Thanksgiving, I don't have anything to do. So come on down,
You know
you know?
what's really cool about that, Chris, is that a lot of people don't have people to spend the holidays with, and the holidays are really hard for a lot of people. So just
Especially if you
having
don't
that,
have anyone.
yeah, yeah. So our older populations that a lot of their friends and family have predeceased them. A lot of our veterans who have struggled with kind of connecting with people, this offers a space where those people can come find connection and just find camaraderie and support. It's beautiful. I love it.
But Perry and I were just talking. The thing tonight is from 7 to 9, and we've been pretty consistent about that. And at 5:30 there was a room, half room full of people. So pretty cool.
What is that you guys are doing?
Like we're having a meetup here tonight from 7 to 9, but
Oh,
there's
yes, yes,
already,
gotcha. Yeah.
if I took the camera out of the room, you'd see like there's people already in there socializing, hanging out. Um, waiting.
Yeah,
It's pretty
it's
cool.
already
I
like
mean,
halfway full.
like if you build it, they will come sort of moment, you know? So
Yeah. Well, here I'm being really, really serious about my recovery, but I got a week and a half left, and then I'm cut loose, and I'm starting to legitimately feel pretty good. So I'm looking forward to coming and hanging out a few evenings with you guys.
very cool. And we already have people lined up, like governor candidates and congressional seat candidates, like U.S. Senate and U.S. Congress level candidates coming, planning on coming here in the next couple weeks, months. So uh,
Cool.
just to hang out during those events, like informally, you know, we're going to do formal events, probably forums and things like that. But like they're actually going to come here and just socialize, which is really cool.
Cool.
Different. You get
Let
to see
people
them in
get
a
to know
different
them.
light. But Perry, you got to stop talking. You're talking too
I
much,
know.
man.
Yep.
But Perry, you went out, as you always do. You went out a couple days ago and you toured an area of uh, Coos Bay that we haven't been to. Well, tell us about it.
So south of Empire Boat Ramp, um, all the houses are set back from the bay a ways, and um, it's all beach right there, and then it turns into trees and marsh. And I've heard for a long time about people camping back there, but never went. And I finally went back there, and what a mess that is. Um, and out of coincidence, it was right after the king tides, which I think kind of helped um, emphasize the problem because those high tides pushed their garbage that was collected and just scattered everywhere and turned it exactly like you'd see driftwood, just lined up along the shore right there at that high tide mark. And um, and it's marshy. I was in my leather boots that are greased up real good and waterproof, so I didn't get wet. But you're walking in 4 inches of water all through there. They'll find a little bit of a dry spot and put a tent up, and it's an absolute mess. And it's all right there going into the bay.
I wish I had video and photos of it. I wasn't prepared enough, so I apologize. And next time when you're there, we should just do a go live straight when you're there, wherever I am, and I can just have you show it around and maybe even interview somebody. I know that's your
The
thing,
crazy
not mine.
thing is, if they were making money by polluting the waterway, the entire government system
Right.
and every branch in it would crawl right up their behind. You know what I
Yep.
mean?
Well, and you sent an email out to well, tell us about what organization and what was the response.
Yeah, so I made a post about all that I saw, and a guy reached out to me and says, "Hey, the state got a hold of me because of shellfish harvesting. Um, they need to check my land to make sure I'm not polluting the water. That might be something to look into, and maybe, I'm like, yeah, that sounds perfect." So it's the Department of Agriculture, Oregon Department. So I emailed them and got a reply saying that that's not where shellfish are, or harvesting takes place or something like that. So yeah, it's not their problem.
Kicking the can.
Even though there's shellfish everywhere in the bay. Anybody that does that knows that. I mean, they're everywhere.
Of course.
But I have a feeling they're only talking about oysters, which are commercial. Um, but there's still shellfish everywhere.
So would
Did
that be DEQ that could maybe get involved with that?
What's that have you turned down because I don't want echoing? What's that?
DEQ, would that be the
Oh,
organization to get involved
I'm
in
gonna
that?
look into something else and just see how many times I can get shot down.
Okay, I have a
Get them
DEQ
in different
contact
departments.
that I've had luck with in the past with something, so
It's
I'll dig that
I don't
contact
know.
information up.
Homelessness seems to trump everything. Being
Well,
homeless is more
it's a big
important than
money
everything else,
maker.
I think.
Hate to say it, but the homeless industrial complex, all that money that our state was spending running Shutter Creek and the state mental hospital, they took all that money and it was instead redistributed to nonprofit organizations who have proved epic failures. I think the vast majority of nonprofits have seen increasing, the needle has moved in the wrong direction, right? So
Perry, do you
it's
remember
it,
that homeless advisory committee meeting we went to, and Jessica Engelke was on the committee, and we mentioned the homeless industrial complex, and you saw her like writing, and at the end she was like, "What was that term you guys used?" And Adam Palmer was there, and we were like, "Homeless industrial complex," and she was like, "Is that something you guys made up?" And we were like, "No, that's legitimately a term." She was like, "I've never heard of that before."
I maybe get out of your social circle.
And
Maybe
I'm
take
like,
a,
I was waiting for the punchline. Like, was there a joke? Like, seriously, that happened. It's probably recorded.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, that was crazy. But no, it's a real thing. The homeless industrial complex. And
because
um,
the people that are perpetuating the complex don't use that type of language to describe what they're doing.
right.
So
Mhm.
if she's in, if that's the
Yep.
people she's surrounded by, she never would have heard that term.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
Well,
and it's
But
so
it's a big money
ridiculous that
maker. So
it's really not even anything to talk about. It's that obvious about what's going on. It it's clear that anything they say they want to try has never worked ever in the past, and that's all they want to try. So what can they actually be doing? They're not trying to fix the problem.
they're
I
trying to
just
make
couldn't
money.
even believe your email response. It was pretty much like, no, this isn't our jurisdiction. Do you want us to call the police?
Yeah.
It didn't even, there was no sentence of like, wow, that's a lot of crap, or like, that's not great for our waterways. However, technically, we can't do anything. Like, there was nothing in that email that gave any sort of empathy towards the fact that our bay is being polluted.
Well, and so saying, hey, do you want to call? Do you want me to send this to the police? That wasn't even like an option in my head that they would come back with. Okay, if it's not your jurisdiction, well, you're a State Department. I'm sure that they go out and find wherever their jurisdiction line is, 10 feet over, they see oil spilling into the bay, and they go, I can get a hold of this other State Department over here, and they can deal with this. You're not going to send that to any other departments? Just say, nope.
Like DEQ.
Pretty simple, but nobody wants to deal with homeless.
Weird. Well, it like we said, it's a major industry and a lot of people are making a good living off of serving very expensive meals. I mean, when the meals are serving math out to $100 a meal, who are they helping?
Yep. Or when we were, remember when we were listening to the plan of them building the houses, and it was like $68,000 just to build the house, not including hooking it up to utilities and the around the unit and stuff. And they were going to put like 8 of them. It was Salvation Army. And we looked at the guy and we were like, "That's insane." He's like, "That's actually not that bad." And I was like, I don't know. It got weird for a second. Remember, he like apologized to us because we said something like, we don't even live in stuff that nice. And he like, it kind of hit him. He was like, whoa. He's like, I never even thought of that. I'm like, yeah, I don't live in a brand new trailer. Like, not
Well,
everybody is
they
in the
have
situation you think they're in.
Or the
the
$300,000 out of the million that went to administrative costs.
Yeah,
that
they can take
that
10% of any contract. The city
that
as being like the financial whatever holder, the administrator of that contract. So it's a state grant for $1 million. Well, Coos Bay gets 100,000 right out of the gate. I think it was actually
there's
30%,
definitely
wasn't it?
money going
There was
missing during that
300,000
administrative
in
handoff.
administrative on those, whatever he showed.
It's crazy.
And the thing is too with like so what is your goal to get someone into temporary housing like basically something that locks so that ideally like women can't be raped, because that's like a huge, like, violent attacks and stuff like that are pretty common, and those in and of themselves are absolutely traumatizing. There is a little pop-up house that you can order off of Amazon for like 15 or
Yeah.
$16,000. We've literally, and they're not, necessarily real weather rated, like, but for temporary housing, like, if you're looking at 60,
Shelter.
$70,000 versus $15,000, I think these people that are working for these nonprofits have become so out of touch with how money works that, like, they're
Yeah.
it's like financially their brains don't work in any kind of savvy, realistic way.
I think they were trying to solve the problem between like shack shelter for a homeless person and like fully placing them in a home. Like if we don't really have any more homes, let's build like something in the middle for 70,000. And they thought that was a bargain. It's like 10,000. They built the Coalbank Slough homes for $10,000 each. And it's like they thought that was a really good bargain. It's like $10,000 for just a shack, like a box with a roof is too expensive. But and especially when we could have kids, learning shop, right? Like learning construction in high school or trade school sort of
Like what they're doing
situation.
at
SWAC.
Okotek.
Yeah.
That's I just went over and met with Rick Stillwagon, who's heading that up, and that's basically what they're doing. They have out there at the end of Seven Devils, just before you get into Charleston, they have that old school there that they've turned the gym into basically a massive workshop where he's teaching people the trades, and they're taking in volunteers of people who collectively around the community have all of this trade knowledge and
Yeah.
transferring that skill set to the next generation so that they can, excuse me, so they can learn self-sustaining skills.
All sorts of ideas and solutions, but yeah.
Oh yeah, there's
Well,
so many people in this community that are doing stuff like that, making stuff happen. But it seems like the best solutions are the grassroots solutions that are initiated and developed by our community members. This stuff that's being implemented by the state is trash. Failure after failure, absolute hot garbage.
we're speaking of grassroots, we're doing events here we've Wednesday, Saturday, every week, and all week. My gosh, it's there's been so many people here, people we haven't seen right in a long time. Like you have people who haven't been involved or engaged in politics for like 10 years, and then like
Yeah.
Rob Taylor's been here almost the whole time, and it's like so cool to watch him interact with people, or like people who only saw him or heard him on the radio, right? You only hear him on the radio. That's a telephone symbol, that's not a radio. But and they'll come in and they'll be like, "Hey, Rob," and he's like, "I don't, I don't know these people." It's like just because you heard me on the radio doesn't mean I know who you are. But it was funny. But no, it was really cool. He's been able to meet so many people that like he's never had a place. He's been out and done petitions and stuff, but they've usually been so narrow scope that he doesn't meet people like this in mass. This petition has been so wide reaching. It's insane.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, we've had Democrats walking into a Republican headquarters to sign this petition, like
That's
totally
cool.
cool with it.
That's such an opportunity to bridge that gap. I wish I could have been there through all of this stuff, but this needed
I
to happen.
I had
But
someone change their registration from Democrat to Republican yesterday. Yeah. I
really,
I made them
it's
apologize
cool.
first. I did. Yeah. I'm like, you say you're sorry.
That's that's
Yeah.
funny. That's cool though, because it's like it's building those bridges and building that camaraderie and opening up that opportunity for dialogue and meeting in the middle. And like, I really think our solutions start here at home. Like, we
Yep.
can't, our state is not going to save us. They're going to make things worse every opportunity they can. And so these are the grassroots solutions that are really going to lift us up.
Well, in the conversation I had with almost every Democrat that walked in here who would self-identify, um, was that like essentially I'd pick their brain, like what do you mean Democrat, like tell me specifics, like what are your beliefs, what do you believe in? They're all old school liberals, Clinton Democrats, and yeah, they're like done with it. They're like, I
Oh.
cannot stand the Republican or the Democrat Party anymore. um only one of them switched, but like the others are fed up. They're like, a man is a man and a woman is a woman. What is happening? And it's like, see,
Yeah.
Democrats, you got to start listening to your people, because
Yeah.
that's wild. You guys took shit way too far.
The
So
fact that it could have gone as far as it did, the fact that there are people in the Democrat Party who let it go as far as it did is like, I'm never going to be able to shake that ick. Like, the fact that there were people out there that were for real trying to make 12-year-olds and grown ass men share a locker room,
yeah,
that's a
they
kind
still
of
are.
that, like,
Mhm.
I'm never gonna, you can't
Yeah.
wash that off.
Well,
Yep.
and when people come in here, I guarantee you one of the biggest attractions is the fact that we're authentic. We can go out
Oh yeah.
somewhere or be at home, and we're going to be the same people. We're going to believe the same things. We don't got to act like we believe something when we're someplace and act different somewhere else. We're authentic. What you see is what you get, and you know what to expect.
I think that is really valuable, Perry. That's a good way to put it, because people know that even if they come to you guys and they have a disagreement, you're going to be honest about where you stand. You're going to be honest about your own views, but still, I think everybody that's involved right now with this new Republican movement still has the ability to respect other people's views. Like, to an extent, I think you guys would pretty wholeheartedly reject outward racism, outward, like outward terrible things. But for the most part, you guys have this ability to just be authentic. Like you said, you guys are not putting on a show for anyone. And that really, you can see the authenticity, I think.
Well, you're saying that while we're literally putting on a show for people. Come on.
I guess. I mean, it's not, is it though? Because it's non-scripted
Yeah.
television is the devil's playground.
Oh no, this is entertainment. Yeah. And I can hear Rob Taylor's and other people carrying on in the background. So if other people can, I'm sorry.
It's just a very subtle, like, in the background. It's not
Okay.
bad at all.
He screamed ladder really loud at one point. I heard it pretty clear. But anyways, yeah, no, you're right. Like, Perry, absolutely. Like, that is the big difference, because I've gone to some of these Democrat meetings and it's just like, it's weird talking to
I
them.
haven't
Like,
gone to
you're
any yet. I'm
trying
going
to
to
get
now.
to know who they are really, like, inside, and they don't
Performative.
even know themselves
That's the
sometimes.
word.
But and it's not
Performative.
all of them. Yeah. But I will say they do run meetings better. Like, Republicans, we're awkward. We're they do run meetings really well. They have fun. Like, it's a good time.
I
Like,
will
the
tell
Democrat Party recently put out pictures of their Thirsty Thursday and Band and Brewing Company, and it like looked fun. I actually almost went. Like, they have a good time. So
yeah. I do want to go check out their stuff more and really take an opportunity to get to know those people, because I'm working from the assumption that they have a lot to offer, and so it's important to build those bridges. So looking forward to meeting those folks. And you're right, they do have fun stuff going on. So I think, like, there is a nature to conservatives, and I don't know if you call them, like, they're not really liberals. They're kind of left leaning. They've kind of branched and done their own thing over the last 10 years or so, where they're not really progressives anymore. They're not really liberals anymore. And they've become something different. But there's definitely this, whatever that left versus right is. It seems like, oh, now I forgot where I was going with that. I'm sorry.
well, here's something we can talk about. We're talking about left versus right. Look at this
Oh, I
disconnect.
was going with introvert versus extrovert. That's where I was going with
That's
it.
what, yeah.
Because I think our conservative base tends to be more introverted and kind of wants to be left alone, where the Democrat
Hmm.
base is a little bit more extroverted. They want more collaboration. They want,
Yeah.
And
I've said that
so,
over and over again. People are like, we don't, like from the other side, they're like, we don't want you to be county commissioner. And I'm like, I don't either. I want to be left alone. I want things to just work and not have to do any of this. I'm on your
yeah,
side, you know?
yeah, yeah. And I think that kind of manifests in that because introverts are maybe a little bit less charming, a little bit less like outgoing, and a little bit less effort put in. Small talk kind of is painful, right? And so you do get, I personally prefer awkward, like charm makes me immediately suspicious. 8 years in New York City, like why the fuck are you so smiley? Like, why are you so friendly? What do you want? And
Just
I don't
get to
know.
it.
Yeah, I
Just
kind
get
of
to the
just
point.
I
Like, what do
just
you want?
inherently distrust really charming people. But if you can get past the awkwardness, conservatives are really, really authentic and loyal people. I will say that when you have a friend in a conservative person, you have a real friend, not someone who is just very, oh my God, girl, I've missed you so much. We have got to hang out. And then you never hear from her again. And I've noticed that there's a little, and I'm not trying to like stereotype or anything, but there is a little bit of a conservatives are maybe a little bit more standoffish at first. But once you break through that kind of like crusty exterior, they're all mushy and soft inside. They're all warm and fuzzy.
I'm very soft inside.
Yeah.
Very soft.
Yeah.
I want to talk about this graph though, because it's insane. And while we're talking about Democrats versus Republicans, like, and the introvert versus extrovert, it's like this is what it turns out to on paper, at least here in Coos County, right? So you have these people who love to socialize. They're great at events. They're great at crafting narratives and building emotion and having emotional responses to things. So look at the right. Well,
Yeah.
actually, I should have put these reversed, right? Left and right. Anyways, um, the Democrats, that is a huge tower of power. So this was up until, I think this was January through July, is what the numbers on here are from. But yeah, this is our local Coos County party. So you have the Democrats kicking butt, and it showed in the last election, in the May primary, or not primary, the what are they called, district elections, school boards
Yeah.
and things like that. So,
Yeah.
and the Republicans, we didn't show up. So that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to reorganize, trying to get things moving again here locally, so that, like, fair's fair. Like, let's let's at least even it out, or meet them,
Yeah.
something. But
Power balances are always healthy.
yep. Well, um, what else do we talk about? I
What
was
else
like,
have
man,
we
I don't
got?
want to go for a full hour. I want
I
it to be
think
shorter, and here we are, 27 minutes.
I think that graph right there could go pretty much for anything, Republican and Democrat locally. Events, the chair coming out of the hole, out of Heidi. I mean, take your pick. Anything.
Oh, can you talk about the win?
Sure. Yeah. We had, well, there's supposed to be a recall tomorrow to recall me and, chastise me because I've been such a bad Republican.
Very
Um,
naughty.
and a judge blocked it because it was called in, I don't want to say in error. It just wasn't done properly. And this is the second time they tried it in September. And yeah, it's a small part of the party, but they've had control. They've been able to, for years and years and years, manipulate how things work so that no one really knows that there's a party, and then it's just their social club. So they're in control, and they don't like me because I do crazy stuff like this, and we do crazy. Rob and I do crazy stuff like get a headquarters open and invite people in for pizza and drinks. I mean, it's insane. I mean, it's
Well, you
dangerous, right?
bring absolute independent heathens into
Yep.
their mix,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't do a Christian check on people and check their Christianity. And no, it's like actually insane. But anyway, so the judge blocked it for the second time. He blocked it back in September. He blocked it now because it's not, there's bylaws and process to things. If you have to do a recall, there's a proper way to do it.
And those
And
bylaws are legally enforceable.
yeah, oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And so that's why it got canceled. But anyway, so and then that started in September, all that crap. Way before that, um, even before May, but May was when it really came to a climax. We really started to try to grow the party because it was after the May election, the district election, we got obliterated. Look at that graph, right? We lost almost all contested seats except for 2, I believe, in the whole county. So we started growing the party, and there's a process to do that. And we followed the proper process. And these people on the other side within our own party who don't want to grow the party said no. They don't want. By the way, I'm the vice chair of this local party, and I'm not a voting member because it's called a PCP, a precinct committee person. You're essentially a neighborhood representative. There's 18 precincts in Coos County, and you can actually be on the ballot. So this upcoming May, I know people probably have heard this, but for people who haven't, you can be on the ballot in May and be a representative for your neighborhood, and it's called a precinct committee person. Well, those are the only people who can vote in your local party, whether you're Democrat or Republican. But there's 192 of these positions. We only currently have 49 filled. That is by design so that they can control the votes. It makes it very small votes win decisions. So anyway, so we started to increase that. You can appoint people to fill those vacancies. Just like if there was only 2 out of 7 seats on a city council, the town, or actually, I don't know who would appoint it, but either the town would or the 2 city councilors would appoint more. And you would want that. You would want 7 people on a city council, just like we want 200 people to represent all the various precincts. There's, I think, 4 or 6 precincts out of the 18 that aren't even represented at all. We've no one representing them. So we have brought, I believe, 2 of those. We now have 2 new representatives from those precincts, but they're being blocked. They've been blocked since May from being able to participate in our party, to the point where they're not even calling meetings anymore because they don't want to even discuss the topic. So that was also part of the judge's order this morning, that it has been shown, we have been able to prove, that process has been manipulated and bastardized to benefit essentially one person, the chair. And so the judge made a ruling that said those applications that have been turned in and followed the proper process, they have to be voted on. So the committee still gets to vote, like Perry, do we want to add Perry as a member? They still get to vote, but like, that's the crazy thing. We're being prevented from even holding that vote or being presented as a nominee to fill that vacancy. So long-winded explanation, but that is very good news. There's 15,000 registered Republicans in Coos County. So this local party represents at least 15,000 people and should be extremely influential in our community. I believe it's 15,000. Sounds about right.
It does sound about right.
Somebody check me on that. We need a fact checker online to go to Grok and fact check how many Republicans, and the crazy thing, if anybody starts looking at statistics, Coos County has more registered Republicans than Democrats, but the biggest group in Coos County is actually non-affiliated voters, and that's actually consistent statewide. The largest voting group is non-affiliated. So,
I believe that's consistent nationwide.
Yeah.
Actually.
So you've got essentially 49 people that are representing 15,000. And we have the possibility of having 200 or 198 people representing them. And we should have representatives from every neck of the woods in Coos County. And anyone who wants to participate should participate. And if people want to Google this, it's actually a state law. There's an ORS that specifically says a political party has to allow the fairest and widest participation within their party. So that was another part of the lawsuit. That's why the chair is being forced to vote on these things. So tomorrow night, we're going to actually finally, apparently, we'll see if it works, but we're going to vote on these things. So I know people have been waiting a long time. Everyone has been extremely patient. Sandy here is actually one of those neighborhood representatives. And you have to re-up every 2 years. So she's going to be on the ballot in May. And we'll all be on the ballot in May. That's also like a process that can happen outside of the party. You're on an actual ballot and you could be elected. But in the meantime, and again, we've been asking since last May. So
I've got the numbers if you want to hear them.
But they're going to have a vote, and Michael's made sure that nobody's allowed to be there. So is what he's saying is he does not even want to know what these people are like. How can you vote yes and no and have absolutely no idea what these people stand for or anything about them? Just, okay, you're going to vote yes or no with what? A flip of a coin?
It's insane. I mean, some of these people, I don't know. Like some of these people reached out to me. They said, I have contacted the email address on the Coos Republicans website. I have sent Facebook messages. I've called the phone number, nothing. I've received for weeks, no contact. I want to get involved. And then they somehow find me and I go, heck yes, get involved. And the neat thing is like all this crap going on, we've still been able to have events. We have a headquarters. I mean, we're doing this show, like, so we are able to do stuff. So I invite them out and they do it. And then they sign up, they fill out the form, and now they're on that ballot. And it's like, I barely know the person. I'd like to get to know them more. And like Perry said, there should be a meeting where you go, okay, I nominate Perry, and you'd stand up, you'd do a 1 or 2 minute introduction. We'd ask you questions, and then we vote on you. And you find out that this is how it's been for decades in the Republican Party, because like that's exactly how you would do it. And then all of a sudden this year, nothing. They don't want to allow anybody in. So it's wild. But you said you got information. You looked stuff up.
Oh, the numbers. A lady, I think her name was Jennifer, put up the Republican numbers that was correct of 15,694. Democrats trailing behind with 10,841, but the largest group by far. Oh, and we do have the Independent Party, because remember the Independent does have its own party of 2,862, but by far the largest portion at 19,682 is the unaffiliated voter, which I am also personally a part of.
And if you go back and look at elections, you take like the presidential election, the governor's race, or U.S. Congress, like Senate seats or House of Representative seats, we are in Coos County are almost a consistent, almost identical 60% every single time for the Republican candidate. So like for governor, Republican candidate, 60%, even though they don't win statewide, Coos County votes 60% for the Republican candidate. And then you'd think it would be 40% for the Democrat candidate. It's not. Like last election for governor, Tina Kotek only got 30% here in Coos County. That's how weak the Democrat support is for state and national races. Then it all changes. You look at school boards, city councils, and commissioner races. Obviously, the school board and city council, there's a different makeup because it's a smaller district. But like commissioner races should follow that same trend. Nope. It's like you had our recent election with Drew Farmer and Bob Main. I believe it was like 55 to 45. But Bob Main is also not registered Republican, so that probably got a little weird. Drew's, I think, registered independent or not affiliated, although he was endorsed by the Democrat Party. And then you go even further
also a
back,
non-affiliated position.
right? And that's where it gets weird. But you have these political parties who endorse people, and they're very loud about it, like especially Drew Farmer. But yeah, you go back before, and it was Rod Taylor and Melissa Cribbins, and that was like, I think 130 votes, something. It was like 50-50. So why is that? Is that because the state designated them nonpartisan? Is it because the Democrats?
Because of that graph.
I think so.
Like I said, that graph can go for anything local with the Republicans and Democrats. Exact same graph, just pick your topic.
Because that graph is affecting us locally here on a big scale versus like the state and federal races are affected by outside sources.
Yeah.
This graph
that
right
money
here
is really amplifying that voice. Probably
and
beyond
it's not just money. that money is representative of participation as well. People can go and they can go into Orstar. It's ORESTAR, Orstar, and you can look up like these figures. You can look up the Democratic Party of Coos County and see where their donations are coming from. And it's like mega grassroots. Like there's small donations all the time. And that's how they get these numbers. Now they have gotten some larger donations, but it's like that is participation. They
It is,
are
and
out
they
there
should be
and
proud
doing.
of that.
Here we are, like giving them so much kudos.
I mean,
But
credit where credit is due if you're
yep.
doing the damn thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but this building,
I'm not gonna hate on.
things are going to start turning.
Hopefully, we're seeing it. I saw it
Well,
this
here's the
week
thing.
more than I've ever
I
seen it in
personally
my life.
know of several fairly large small businesses in the area who are very generous and would love to back promising candidates, but they would not give money to the Republican Party the way it was being run
Yeah.
up until.
And that's going to take time. That's going to take years probably to rework. It's not going to happen overnight. Yeah.
You might be surprised at how
Hey,
forgiving.
I want to prepare myself, right? But
Yeah,
and if it
you might
happens,
be
great.
surprised.
And you can tell
There's
that
a
we have a
lot of
donation
people.
box, so if they want to come in.
Yeah,
I printed
I
up forms
think
the other day.
people with deep pockets are waiting for some stability.
Well, hopefully
And
we can bring that to them.
yeah, you will. You will.
Anybody want to say hi?
So,
No. We got some shy people. We're in the beer room.
in the beer
The
room,
soda room, the sparkling water
soda room. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, we're working on getting a studio, and that would be really cool. So then people really could just like walk in and be on this in the studio. So,
Oh, that would be cool.
There we go.
we got a flag waiver. Yeah, we've got a heckler in here. Somebody let them in. Yeah, but no, and we've actually already had meetings here with candidates. So Monique Despain came in here to meet with us. She is running for Congressional District 4, so like U.S. House of Representatives. You know, if I got him, like, but she came in and she's I think there's 6 House of Representative seats for Oregon. So that's all the way up to Lincoln City and Eugene, all the way down to the coast, I believe. That's a big district, and she came in here, and she's going to be here in a couple weeks at one of our coffee events, stopping
Is
in.
she running against someone, or is it multiple?
She ran
Safety.
last against Val Hoyle, so she's going to run against her again, but she does have to secure the nomination from the Republican Party first, so she'll be in the primary. And she did that last time. I don't think she has as many people contending the race this time, so I'm pretty sure she's going to get it. And she's starting campaigning early, so she lost by 8%. So she's got a 4% gain that she's got to make up on Val Hoyle.
Okay.
Which I think is doable.
Bringing to the table? I didn't watch the interview. I apologize.
That I did not do an interview with her. I will be doing one in a little bit.
Oh, okay.
I would rather people just check her out because I'm not like prepared to speak on her behalf just yet, and I don't want to butcher it. So Monique Despain, if people want to look her up, I think she's a very promising conservative candidate. So, and she's already been through that whole cycle 2 years ago. So, and then the other person that's who you're probably thinking of. I did the interview with Danielle Bethel, who is running for the Republican nomination for governor of Oregon. She was the first to file, and I think she's pretty promising. So people remember Christine Drazen. She ran against Tina Kotek, and there were some independent disruptors, but she ran against Tina Kotek, and Drazen got 60% in Coos County. So strong candidate. But in the primary, she actually was not Coos County's choice. So she got, I believe, 21% in our Republican primary, and somebody else got 25%. Bob something. Damn, I forgot his name. So it's wide open. I think there's going to be a lot of people running for that seat for governor, running for the nomination on both sides, because I don't think Tina's running again. Hopefully
well, the bar
not.
is on the floor. I mean,
Are they
You
reaching out to
can't
Michael to
get
talk, or just you?
I don't know. I don't want to comment. No comment. Yeah. What is actually interesting, Danielle reached out to this show, to the Coos County Citizen Council, which is really cool.
that
She's,
is
I mean,
cool.
she's already looking forward past that primary, and she's going to need non-affiliated and independents to be able to hear her message. And that is like the dream of what this is supposed to be doing. I've
Yeah.
obviously been pretty partisan, but I hope people feel that I've been like fair and balanced as I can. And I think that's what we want to try and do is get the word out there on a slightly nonpartisan uh, basis. But anyways, I could play that at the end here. Actually, I don't know if I want to do that, but if people
Save
go
it.
to the
Save it.
Citizen Council Facebook page or YouTube, I mean, literally wherever you're watching this, I guess,
Mhm,
it's on there. It was the last
mhm.
interview I did, and it's short. I did a short one. I'm going to start doing more of those and checking in with candidates, doing like a 5-minute quick one. But yeah, and we had a recording issue. Her hotel internet was crap, so it's hard, it's choppy, but stay with it. Stay like keep watching it. It's really like 10 minutes of your time to listen from this woman who has put a lot into this. She's a county commissioner for Marion County. It's the fourth or fifth largest county in the state.
Mhm.
She's been working hard. She's been doing things well in Marion County, and now she's offering that to all of Oregon. Like win, lose, or draw, that's pretty worth your 10 minutes. So
Cool.
I think I have a graphic. It always puts the last graphic up. That's Danielle. And here's some of her campaign stuff. Um, Government should absolutely live within its means, 100%. And we need a government that listens. We talk about that often on this program. So Danielle Bethel, check her out. She'll be on the primary ballot as Republican. So
I'm interested to hear what her ideas for solutions are.
she does little live streams, like like you've seen people like in their car do a little live stream, and like
Yeah.
she's talking about current events. So she did a one about the food stamp when that was like a big crisis a couple weeks ago. She talked about her views on what we should do as a government, what Oregon should be doing, and she's Republican, but like I think it'd be worthwhile for people to listen. I would not consider her moderate, but like I would consider her reasonable. Like when she goes through an issue, she's reasonable. You're like, yes, that like absolutely makes sense. Like you can talk about homelessness and what needs to be done to take care of the situation, and be direct about it, but still be empathetic to their situation. Like I struggle with that sometimes. Like I think we all do. Like you see this stuff and you're like, what the hell? Like Perry, like you're looking at what's happening to the Bay, like, and it's like, geez, and then but you got to articulate that into like an actual like, okay, what do we do? Like, what would you do if you're governor? How,
That's the thing. It's like, what do you okay, yeah, they're a problem. What do you do with them? We
should we
can't
ask
throw them
Governor
into
Perry?
volcanoes or off of cliffs anymore like,
Right.
our ancestors did.
Well, that would be
Well,
littering the Bay. You know.
well, our
Yeah.
bodies are definitely toxic.
Yeah, it's tough though. Like, how would you like? I mean, geez, if I was running for governor, what would be? I mean, I have definite answers, but like until you actually start saying them into a live stream with like a lot of followers, it completely changes it. You're like, whoa, that
Yeah.
actually doesn't make any sense and can't work. So,
I would say we
greater.
need to oh, go
Go
ahead.
ahead. Sorry, I was gonna answer the question. Any comments
We
on Greater
definitely
Idaho?
redirecting some cash to reopen our state mental hospital in Shutter Creek would be
She
a
talked about that.
phenomenal move in the right direction. Yep.
Well, not Shutter Creek specifically, but she um, reminded me of a lot of the stuff that you've said about addressing it from that perspective. So
Reopening institutions.
yeah, and she keeps stuff short. It's not like this stuff that goes on for an hour. She
Yeah.
keeps it short. So
Yeah.
Weasel Punk asked, "Do you have any comments on Greater Idaho?" I actually did meet with the people who are working on that movement at this when we had our state convention, which is pretty cool. I don't think it's really going anywhere. It's like our legislature would have to take it up, and then the U.S. Congress would have to
Yeah,
take it up.
three
So
quarters vote. I don't think so.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
unfortunate,
no, they're
but
not gonna let it feels kind of like, I don't know, a chicken shit kind of like, take your
well,
state
I don't think
back.
it would.
There's
I
more
don't
of
think it would
us than there
include
are.
Coos County. I'm pretty sure that a lot of the Greater Idaho Movement maps I've seen don't include us.
Yeah, right now we're an island.
It would get worse. We'd end up being way more outvoted by the Democrat metropolitan areas than anything. So
Yeah, that would just I mean, that would destroy us. We
yeah,
would literally end up just another cesspool like Eugene and Portland, and no control over stopping it.
we're getting close already. So
It's do you think that as it's gotten worse, there has been more of like a wake up for people?
yes and no. We've also like dialed back the pressure because we've been working on all this Republican Party stuff, trying to get that party functioning again. Right? Like I know I certainly have. I haven't been to a city council
Yeah.
meeting or commissioner meeting in a while. Um, I can only handle so many things at a time,
Oh,
you know.
yeah,
I've been in contact with
definitely.
those people, which is pretty cool. Maybe me dialing it back has allowed that to happen. Get people to pick up the phone. But no, they've always picked up the phone. We actually have pretty cool people around here on both sides. I think a lot of what is seen uh, at meetings and stuff is not always what is happening behind the scenes. So
You know, also, Chris, over the past year, people have had an opportunity because you came in real hot. And people over this past year, like they've had an opportunity to see you as you've kind of come into your groove and found your place, and people have got to know you a little bit more. And so I do think there's a little bit more receptivity to you specifically, and also to the idea that there are conservatives in our community who may be loud and may be really like, I don't know, contentious, but they genuinely do want to see a better Coos County.
it's like one of those caterpillars when you're like, oh my God, that's hideous. But then you're like, but look at his cool orange spots and it has really neat stripes. And it's like, this is
You've
scientific.
blossomed into a beautiful butterfly,
No.
Chris.
I'm still a caterpillar. I'm still ugly as shit, but it's like a interesting, you know? It's like, hey, look at that specimen. Yeah, hopefully that's what I think
Oh,
it is.
yes, yeah.
And it's not just me. There's a bunch of people. There's a lot of people behind the scenes, and it's hard to give them credit sometimes. They use fake names like James McHenry. So we will give James
Well,
McHenry credit.
yeah.
He's working behind
There's
the
a lot of people that prefer to be behind the scenes. And for in a lot of situations, we see people who like to remain anonymous be very abusive, right? But
yeah.
there is another side of that. There is people who choose to remain a little bit more anonymous because they don't want to have threats against them for bodily harm. They don't want to have their family threatened. Like there's legitimate reasons for some people who choose not to be so well known.
And the James McHenry heard me call and he wants his pizza. But I'm not getting the pizza. I actually arranged it to be uh, presented at 7 p.m. So if people want to come on down in 7 minutes, you will get pizza and drinks and all sorts of conservative conversations, you know, rooted in traditional American values here at the Friends of Coos County Republicans headquarters. They're saying they're starving. That's funny.
Yeah.
Um, and I'm going to do a little presentation on a few things, like show what we've done this year and what we're planning for the next year. Kind of what, yeah, it's like feels like the holidays, doesn't it? Like the end of the year, it's already here. Wow. We also on Saturday have coffee with a conservative, 8 to 11, and you don't have to come the whole time. Like you literally stop in for 5 minutes and just grab coffee and leave, and that's cool because I'll get to hey, how's it going? Um, but some people do like to stay the whole time, and that's cool too. I mean, people ask all sorts of questions. They, what does what is like congressional district mapping? Like, how do they remap those things and to their benefit? Like that kind of is hard to explain sometimes. And we have whiteboards and we can draw it out and research stuff. So come on down and ask all the questions you want. And again, if you have not signed the gas tax petition, by the way, this puts it on the ballot. So you might be opposed to this, but like it's about putting it on the ballot and having a conversation and allowing the voters to decide, not the legislators. So that's what it's about. There's other petitions here. There's one on highway tolls, and there's one on it's called end vote by mail. I don't like the language around that. It's not ending it permanently. It's like you'd still have absentee ballots. It's taking us back to old timey voting where you'd go into a precinct and meet your neighbors and this crazy thing called show ID. You'd have to show
Yeah.
ID. Like, when you
But
buy
you could
alcohol.
still request a ballot be
Yes.
mailed to you if you're someone who needs that. Yeah.
So that's it for me. What do you guys have? We got a couple more minutes. Any final thoughts? Jerry's final thoughts.
I don't know. Pretty much did everything, I think.
Oh, I was on
when I
mute, but I
come-
think you heard me through his microphone.
When I come and do this with you guys, when we have pizza, I want to bring Denny's pizza.
Yes, I love Denny's Pizza. Oh God, I love that place. Yes, every time I'm in Coquille, that is where I eat. Also, check
Right?
out. Is it Jenny's? No. Oh, Colleen's. It's down the Colleen's.
Oh yes.
I love
Oh,
their
yes.
burgers. The Fireman Burger.
Oh yes.
And Uncle Randy's and Frazier's. My gosh, I actually wanted to move to
Coquille
Coquille.
has good food.
I really like Coquille. So, but here I am. Anyways, all right, everybody. Thanks for watching. It's very cool that people participate in this. And last chance to run on down here for pizza and drinks and random conversations about principles and values. So we'll see everybody next week. And